Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm really glad you found this space. Here, we dive deep into the kind of knowledge that shifts your mindset, expands your awareness, and helps you build a life you're actually proud of. Before we start, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next parts of this series. All right, let's begin. A new way of understanding wealth. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around and wondered why some people work endlessly, long hours, heavy jobs, constant exhaustion, and yet remain stuck financially, while others seem to attract opportunities, money, and progress with almost no visible struggle? If effort alone created wealth, the hardest working people in the world would be the richest. But we know that isn't how reality works. And that's where this forgotten law comes in. The law that says wealth doesn't come from physical effort. It comes from alignment. For generations, we were taught that the path to success was built on sweat, sacrifice, and constant grinding. But the truth is far deeper and far more liberating. There's a creative intelligence behind everything in existence, a living, thinking energy that responds not to pressure, but to the vibration of your thoughts. Imagine for a moment that everything around you is shaped first by consciousness, by intention, not by physical force. What if your thoughts are the blueprint and the universe is the builder? This is where our journey starts, the invisible source of wealth. Picture the universe not as empty space, but as a field filled with intelligent, creative energy that forms everything you see. This field responds to your mindset, your emotions, and your internal state. Not your sweat, not your struggle, your inner alignment. Every thought you hold with clarity and conviction begins to shape itself in that invisible field. Every seed reproduces its kind. A cherry seed makes cherries. An oak seed creates an oak tree. And thought, your thought, is the seed of your reality. This is why some people move through life with ease. Their internal world is aligned with abundance, so the external world has no choice but to reflect it. Meanwhile, others live in constant struggle because they think from lack, fear, or scarcity. They expect conflict, so life gives them conflict. They expect hardship, so life mirrors hardship. It's not personal. It's law.
The myth of hard work. We were conditioned to believe the opposite, that wealth is earned through physical labor alone. But the world doesn't operate on that principle. Let's take an honest look. The richest people are often not the physically hardest working. Some grind day and night and barely stay afloat. Some appear to work less, yet achieve more. This doesn't mean effort is useless. It means effort is not the source. Effort is just the channel. Your consciousness, the energy behind the action, is what determines your results. When your thoughts match the vibration of abundance, your actions become powerful, meaningful, and effective. But when your thoughts come from fear and scarcity, your effort becomes empty motion, movement without creation. The real formula for wealth. There is a simple formula behind effortless creation, and it's one of the most transformative truths you will ever hear. 1. Thought. 2. Faith. 3. Gratitude. 4. Aligned action. This is the engine of manifestation. Thought is the design. Faith is the substance. Gratitude is the connection. Action is the channel through which the invisible becomes visible. Let's break each one down. 1. Thought, the blueprint. Every creation begins with an idea, clear, specific, and definite. Most people drift through life with vague dreams. I want more money. I want to be successful. I want freedom. But more is not a blueprint. Your mind needs a picture to build. Your inner image is the instruction you give the universe. If you hold a clear vision with emotion and certainty, the field around you begins rearranging circumstances to match it. But unclear thoughts create unclear results. 2. Faith, the substance. Faith is not hoping something might happen. Faith is knowing it's already unfolding. It's the deep inner conviction that what you desire is already taking shape in the unseen. Faith is energetic solidity. It turns imagination into real substance. It gives your thought weight, form, and gravitational pull. Without faith, a dream is just a wish. With faith, a dream is a blueprint becoming physical. Doubt weakens the signal. Faith strengthens it. 3. Gratitude, the magnetic connection. Gratitude is the emotional frequency that aligns you with abundance. It tells the universe, I am already connected to the source of everything. Most people only feel grateful when something good happens, but real power begins when you feel grateful before it appears. Gratitude is the proof of your faith. It's the emotional signal that says you trust the process. When you live in gratitude, you keep your channel to the infinite wide open. 4. Aligned action, the bridge to reality. Action is not about pushing, forcing, or grinding. Aligned action is calm, purposeful movement that flows from inner certainty. It's not, I must work or I'll fail. It's, I act because the result is already guaranteed. This kind of action is powerful. It's precise. It carries energy. It opens doors. Hard work without alignment is like rowing upstream. Aligned action is like letting the current carry you.
Why struggle repels wealth. Struggle is the vibration of fear. When you struggle, you send the universe this message: I don't believe I will get what I want unless I suffer for it. So life reflects that belief, delivering more struggle. You're not rewarded for pain. You're rewarded for alignment. When you cling to struggle, you block the flow. When you release struggle, the flow begins. Effort is useful. Struggle is resistance. Alignment is power. The moment you stop chasing, life starts flowing. Think of a time you were absolutely certain something would work. Maybe you just knew you would get accepted, or land the job, or receive the money, or meet the right person, and somehow it happened effortlessly. That was alignment. Now think of a time you forced something, pushing, worrying, trying. It probably fell apart, because force signals fear, and fear repels the very thing you want. Life responds to your vibration, not your pressure. You are not here to earn. You are here to express. When you align with abundance, something powerful happens. Your work becomes an expression of your inner richness. You no longer hustle to survive. You create because creation is your nature. You give because giving expands you. You build because expansion is your purpose. You stop chasing money. You start channeling it. You stop trying to earn worth. You start expressing worth. And this is the shift that unlocks effortless wealth. Your inner vibration is your real currency. The world teaches us to chase money, but money is just a shadow and physical echo of your internal state. Your real currency is your clarity, your energy, your faith, your gratitude, your alignment. Change the inner world, and the outer world reorganizes itself accordingly. Every opportunity, every idea, every relationship, Every shift in circumstance starts from within. The law is simple. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. Your life from this moment forward. From now on, I want you to remember this. Money is not earned. Money is allowed. You don't force abundance. You align with it. You don't chase success. You become the type of person success is attracted to. You don't compete with others. You create from your own source. You don't fight reality. You direct it. This is effortless wealth, not magic, not luck, just alignment with the deepest truth of how creation works. This is just the beginning. In Part 2, we'll go deeper into the illusion of labor, why struggle blocks abundance, and how to shift from force to flow permanently. If you're enjoying this series, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss Part 2.
Part 2. The illusion of labor and the shift from force to flow. The illusion of hard work. Why struggle repels the very things you want. Welcome back. If you're listening to Part 2, it means you're ready to go deeper. And this is where the transformation really begins. Let's talk about one of the most deeply rooted beliefs in human history, the belief that hard work is the source of wealth. You were taught this from childhood. Your parents believed it. Your grandparents believed it. Entire societies are built on it. But today, I'm going to show you something powerful. Hard work alone doesn't create wealth. Alignment does. And once you understand this, your relationship with money, opportunity, and success will change forever. Why people work hard and still struggle. Think about the world around you. Millions of people wake up before sunrise, push themselves through long, exhausting days, and still feel stuck. Some hold 2 jobs. Some sacrifice their health, their peace, their time with family, all for survival. If effort was the cause of wealth, these people would be the richest on earth. But they aren't. And deep down, you already know this truth. Look around. Some people work less, complain less, stress less, and yet everything seems to flow toward them naturally. Why? Because work is not the cause. Work is simply the expression of your inner state. Struggle isn't noble. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. Exhaustion is not a currency the universe rewards. Life responds to your state of consciousness, not the hours you grind. The dangerous trap of trying harder. Most of us were raised to believe that if things aren't working, it means we need to push harder, try longer, suffer more, sacrifice everything, outwork everyone. But this mindset creates a life of permanent struggle, because the universe mirrors the vibration you operate from. If your inner belief is, I must fight for everything, then life becomes a continuous fight. If your inner belief is, I get nothing unless I suffer, then suffering becomes your path. And every time you push harder, you reinforce the idea that success requires pain. You are not attracting abundance, you're attracting proof of your own belief. The energetic cost of struggle. Struggle creates a vibration of fear, anxiety, lack, desperation, pressure. This is a contracted state, and contraction blocks the natural flow of abundance. Think of your inner world like a river. Fear tightens the riverbed. Stress creates rocks that obstruct the flow. Doubt dries the water. The harder you fight, the tighter your energy becomes, and the tighter it becomes, the less space there is for abundance to move through you. This is why opportunities disappear. Ideas become unclear. Timing feels off. People pull away, and luck seems absent. It's not punishment.
It's alignment with scarcity.
Why some people succeed effortlessly. Now let's look at the opposite. Some people move through life with calm confidence. They don't panic, they don't cling, they don't obsess, they don't fight reality. These people attract the right connections, perfect timing, creative ideas, opportunities, synchronicities, and financial flow. Why? Because they're aligned. Their internal vibration matches the energy of abundance. They're open, they're certain, they're relaxed. They expect good things. They trust their path. They don't chase the river. They let the river carry them. And life responds in ways that look like luck from the outside, but are actually the natural result of internal harmony. The real reason struggle feels normal. Struggle feels normal because the world glorifies it. We reward busyness, exhaustion, burnout, overachievement, constant motion. We even admire people who sacrifice everything in the name of progress. But here's the truth most people never hear. Struggle is not a sign of progress. It is a sign of misalignment. You are never designed to live in constant resistance. Your mind and body are built for flow, not force. When you're aligned, you think clearly. Ideas come naturally. Intuition strengthens. Your timing improves. You meet the right people. Opportunities appear. Things take less effort. You feel guided. When you're misaligned, everything becomes heavy. You doubt yourself. You overthink. Things fall apart. You feel stuck. Life works against you. And the difference has nothing to do with how hard you work. It's all about your inner state. Force versus flow. Which one is running your life? Let's compare these two modes. Force. You push. You chase. You worry. You try to control everything. You act from fear. You feel pressure. You grind until you break. Flow. You align. You act with clarity. You trust timing. You move with purpose. You feel guided. You act from abundance. You work without strain. Most people live in force because they were never taught that flow is the real source of power. Force produces exhaustion. Flow produces expansion. Force closes doors. Flow opens them. Force is loud. Flow is quiet. Force burns energy. Flow generates energy. When you're in flow, you become magnetic, and everything you wanted starts moving toward you with less effort. Why the universe responds to alignment, not effort. Every person broadcasts an energetic frequency, not metaphorically, literally. Your emotions are vibrations. Your thoughts are signals. Your beliefs are instructions. Your inner state is a command. The universe responds to these signals. When you vibrate in fear, panic, scarcity, stress, doubt, you are energetically saying, "I don't believe good things are coming." So the universe mirrors that reality. But when you vibrate in trust, clarity, calm, gratitude, certainty, you are energetically saying, "I already know I am supported." And the universe mirrors that reality. Effort comes from the body. Alignment comes from the soul. Effort produces temporary results. Alignment produces exponential results. The shift from scarcity to abundance. There's a moment when people first experience alignment, and they say something like, "Wait, it's never felt this easy before. What just happened? How did everything suddenly fall into place?" This moment feels like magic, but it isn't. It's the natural state you are always meant to live in. Let's break down the shift. Scarcity mindset. I must work hard or I'll lose everything. Money is limited. Life is a constant battle. Nothing works out for me. I need to compete with others. Abundance mindset. There is more than enough for everyone. Life supports me. I am connected to infinite supply. I act from clarity, not fear. What I want is already forming around me. Scarcity contracts your energy. Abundance expands it. Scarcity blocks the flow. Abundance opens it. Scarcity says not enough. Abundance says always more. The moment you shift internally, your external world begins to rearrange itself to match your new vibration. The metaphysical truth about creation. Everything you want already exists in potential form, not physically, energetically. The invisible always comes before the visible. Every job, every relationship, every dollar, every idea, every success story, all of it existed first as a thought in someone's mind. Creation always begins inside you. Here's how. 1. Your thought forms the blueprint. 2. Your emotion activates it. 3. Your belief sustains it. 4. Your gratitude strengthens it. 5. Your action gives it a channel. 6. Your alignment brings it into form. This is why two people can do the same job, but one becomes wealthy and the other stays stuck. The difference is not the work. The difference is the mindset behind the work. The universe is not responding to your actions. It is responding to the energy behind your actions. Why effort without alignment fails? Have you ever worked incredibly hard on something and the outcome fell apart? Or the results were tiny? Or the opportunity slipped away? Or everything felt blocked no matter what you did? That's effort without alignment. It feels like rowing against the current. No matter how strong you paddle, you don't go anywhere. You might even sink. But then think of a time when things clicked. Someone helped you unexpectedly. The right idea came at the perfect time. You felt guided. You felt carried. Everything fell into place with ease. That's alignment. It's the moment you stop rowing and let the river support you. How to step into alignment, the practical shift. Here's how you break free from struggle and begin creating through flow. 1. Stop acting from fear. Fear-based action has almost no creative power. It produces random, unstable results. 2. Replace "I must work hard" with "I must align deeper." Your inner state creates your outer results. 3. Work with intention, not pressure. Calm, precise action is far more powerful than frantic movement. 4. Let go of the need to control everything. Control is fear disguised as responsibility. 5. Move only when you feel clarity. Clarity is a sign of alignment. Confusion is a sign to pause. 6. Trust the timing. The universe is never late. It delivers the moment you are vibrationally ready. 7. Live in gratitude before results appear. Gratitude aligns you with the reality you're creating. 8. Act as if your success is already unfolding, because it is. The vibrational equation of wealth. There's a simple rule that runs everything in the universe. What you feel consistently becomes your reality. Not what you want, not what you wish, not what you say, what you feel. Because feeling is frequency, and frequency is a magnet. Feel scarcity, attract scarcity. Feel abundance, attract abundance. Feel pressure, attract resistance. Feel gratitude, attract growth. Feel certainty, attract opportunity. Feel alignment, attract flow. You are not rewarded for suffering. You are rewarded for resonance. You are not here to fight life. You are here to co-create with it. You weren't designed to survive through endless struggle. You were designed to co-create with the universe. Life is not supposed to be a battlefield. Life is supposed to be a collaboration. Your role is not to force outcomes. Your role is to align with the deepest truth of who you are. And that truth is simple. You are connected to infinite supply. When you align with that truth, your life becomes lighter, easier, clearer, and more abundant. You stop fighting. You start flowing. You stop forcing. You start receiving. You stop chasing. You start attracting. This is not fantasy. This is law. And once you learn to work with it, everything in your life transforms. In Part 3, we'll explore the two minds that shape every destiny, the competitive mind and the creative mind, and why one leads to struggle, while the other leads to endless expansion. If you're finding value in this series, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter.
Part 3. The creative mind versus the competitive mind. The fork in human destiny. Two minds, two realities. If you've reached Part 3, then you're not just listening, you're transforming. You're starting to see that wealth, opportunity, and success don't come from force, but from alignment, consciousness, and the way you think. Now we dive into one of the most important concepts you will ever understand. There are two types of minds in this world, the competitive mind and the creative mind, and whichever one you use determines your entire destiny. This is the turning point where most people unconsciously limit their lives or unlock unlimited potential without realizing how they did it. Let's break it down in a way that makes sense to your mind, but speaks directly to your soul. The competitive mind, the illusion of scarcity. Let's start with the competitive mind, because this is where most people are stuck without even knowing it. The competitive mind believes life is limited, resources are limited, money is limited, opportunities are limited, success is a competition, and if someone wins, someone else must lose. There isn't enough for everyone. This mindset comes from fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear of being left behind. And society feeds this fear constantly. Fight for your position. Beat the competition. Get ahead before someone else takes your spot. Protect what's yours. It's everywhere, in business, education, relationships, social media, and even within families. People compare success. People compare progress. People compare lifestyles. People compare popularity, jobs, incomes, and even happiness. And here's the painful truth. The competitive mind keeps you trapped no matter how hard you work. Why? Because the energy of competition is scarcity, and scarcity cannot attract abundance. Competition contracts you. It creates pressure. It creates jealousy. It creates distrust. It creates tension in the body and fear in the mind. You cannot receive what you fear losing. You cannot attract what you envy. You cannot create what you believe is scarce. The competitive mind always lives in survival mode, even when surrounded by potential. Why competition feels so normal? Because the world praises it. People admire those who win. People admire those who conquer. People admire those who crush their competitors. But almost no one questions the emotional cost. Burnout, insecurity, constant fear of losing, obsession with others, lack of inner peace. The competitive mind can achieve temporary success, but it can never achieve lasting fulfillment because it is always afraid. Afraid of falling behind, afraid of being replaced, afraid of losing what was gained, afraid of someone doing better. Imagine living like that forever. Many do. And yet, there is another way, a far more powerful way. The creative mind, the mind of abundance. Now let's talk about the creative mind. This is the mind that changes worlds, builds great empires, innovates new ideas, and transforms lives. The creative mind believes the universe is infinite. Ideas are infinite. Opportunities are infinite. Money is infinite. Success is infinite. Creation never ends. And there is more than enough for everyone.
This mind is not concerned with beating others. It is focused on becoming more. It understands that true wealth comes from within, not from competing for what exists. It knows that what you imagine, you can create, without taking anything away from anyone. The creative mind doesn't fight. It generates. It doesn't imitate. It originates. It doesn't shrink. It expands. This mind is calm, confident, inspired, and deeply connected to the infinite source of supply. And the universe responds to this energy with abundance. Competition versus creation. Two completely different realities. Let's compare them. The competitive mind works from fear, feels pressure, rushes, feels threatened, thinks in limitations, tries to outperform others, creates anxiety, repels abundance. The creative mind works from inspiration, feels ease, moves with purpose, thinks impossibility, creates new ideas, expands the field, radiates abundance, attracts opportunities. One mind operates from lack, the other operates from infinite supply. And here's the powerful truth. You cannot create wealth from the competitive mind, only from the creative mind, because creation requires imagination, faith, and clarity, not fear or comparison. How you block your own abundance without realizing it. Every time you envy someone's success, compare your life to others, feel threatened by competition, worry that someone else will take your chance, obsess over what others are doing, feel that you are behind, or believe there isn't enough for everyone, you shift into the competitive mind. And the moment you do, your abundance flow weakens, sometimes instantly. This is why opportunities dry up, ideas disappear, progress slows, people pull away, and life feels heavy. The competitive mind literally blocks the energy of creation. It's like trying to breathe while holding your breath. You can't. The creative mind, your natural state. Deep inside, you are not built for competition. Your soul is wired for creation, for growth, expansion, innovation, and contribution. Think about children. Children don't compete. They imagine. They create. They explore. They dream. They express. Competition is learned. Creation is natural. Your job is to remember that creative state, the state where you feel limitless, inspired, and connected to infinite possibility. Because from that state, ideas flow, clarity comes, opportunities appear, people are drawn to you, timing aligns, abundance circulates, things feel effortless. This is the state where your life begins to shift dramatically. How to transition from competition to creation. Here are the steps to shift your consciousness into the creative mind. 1. Stop comparing yourself to anyone. You are not here to compete with anyone. Your journey is your own. Comparison lowers your vibration. Creation raises it. 2. Bless the success of others. When you see someone doing well, say to yourself, their success expands what's possible for me too. This shifts your energy instantly. 3. Focus on ideas, not outcomes. Outcomes come from the outside. Ideas come from the inside. Ideas are infinite. Outcomes are limited. Choose the infinite. 4. Think in terms of expansion. Instead of asking, how do I beat them? Ask, what can I create that adds value to the world? Creation multiplies your influence, competition diminishes it. 5. Work with inspiration, not pressure. When you're inspired, you tap into infinite energy. When you're pressured, you block it. Follow the energy that excites you. 6. Celebrate growth in others and yourself. Growth is the currency of the creative mind. Every step forward is abundance unfolding. 7.
Stand in the truth of infinite supply. Say it, feel it, believe it. There is more than enough for everyone, including me. When you hold that vibration, the universe opens its doors to you. You can't compete with someone who is creating. This is one of the most liberating truths you will ever learn. A person in the creative state has no competition because they are making something new. When you're creating, no one can replace you. No one can replicate you. No one can beat you. Creation comes from your unique consciousness, your ideas, your vision, your energy, and the world energetically recognizes the one who creates. Competition is crowded. Creation is limitless. Most people chase what already exists. Creators build what has never been.
Why the creative mind attracts abundance effortlessly. The creative mind vibrates at a higher frequency. Abundance, possibility, joy, inspiration. This energy draws things toward you because people love being around creators. Opportunities recognize creators. The universe expands through creators. When you create from inspiration, life begins to rearrange itself around your vision. The creative mind doesn't chase money. Money is drawn to it. The creative mind doesn't worry about competition. It knows no one can take away what it is meant to express. The creative mind doesn't rush. It trusts the timing of its ideas. The creative mind doesn't fear lack. It understands that every idea opens new channels of abundance. This is the mind of all great innovators, artists, inventors, leaders, and visionaries. Not because they are special, but because they are aligned with the truth. The universe expands through consciousness, not competition. The energetic signature of the creative mind. Here's how you know you're in the creative state. You feel calm, even when challenges arise. You feel ideas flowing more easily. You feel inspired instead of pressured. You sense that things are unfolding for you. You stop caring about what others are doing. You feel guided. You trust your path. And here's how you know you're in the competitive state. You feel tense. You compare yourself constantly. You rush without clarity. You worry you're behind. You envy others. You act from fear. You feel scarcity around time, money, or chances. Your job is not to judge yourself, but to shift states. Just like changing radio stations, you can tune your consciousness to a higher frequency. The creative mind is the mind of the universe. The universe itself is creative. It expands. It grows. It evolves. It multiplies. It expresses. Nothing in nature competes. Everything expresses its own form. Trees don't fight each other. Stars don't compete. Oceans don't compete. Flowers don't compare. Birds don't stress over others doing better. Creation is their nature, and creation is yours. What happens when you fully step into the creative mind? When you shift into creation, your life transforms. Here's what begins to happen. You stop feeling behind. You stop feeling threatened. You start generating new ideas. You become magnetic to opportunity. The right people enter your life. You feel supported by something larger than yourself. You begin to trust your path. Your work becomes more meaningful. Your energy increases. Money and success start flowing toward you naturally. This is not magic. This is alignment. When you align with the creative force of the universe, you are tapping into the most powerful current in existence. Your destiny changes the moment you choose creation. Every decision in life comes down to one question. Am I thinking from competition or creation? Choose competition and you live in fear. Choose creation and you live in abundance. Creation is the mind of your higher self, the mind of your soul, the mind that knows no limits. Choose it daily. Choose it consciously. Choose it boldly, because everything you desire, wealth, peace, purpose, expansion, comes from this creative state of being. Part 4. Vision, faith, gratitude, and the effortless stream of supply. Welcome to the final chapter, the blueprint for an effortless, abundant life. If you're here right now, listening to Part 4, it tells me something powerful about you. You're not just absorbing information, you're transforming your entire relationship with abundance, success, and your own creative power. What we've built in the previous parts has prepared you for this moment, the moment where everything comes together. The power of vision, the force of faith, the magnetism of gratitude, the potency of aligned action, and the emergence of effortless supply. These principles are not theories, they're laws, the same laws that govern nature, creation, and manifestation itself. Today, you're going to understand them at a deeper level than ever before. So take a breath, settle in, and let's begin. Section 1. The power of definite vision. How imagination becomes reality. Everything that exists, every building, every invention, every business, every fortune, began as a picture in someone's mind. But here's the secret most people never learn. The clearer your inner vision, the faster it becomes your outer reality. Most people don't create a definite vision. They drift, they hope, they wish. They imagine loosely, without emotional intensity or consistency. And because their vision is not definite, their results are not definite. The universe doesn't respond to vagueness. It responds to clarity. Imagine a sculptor holding clay. If the sculptor doesn't know exactly what they're trying to shape, the clay remains formless. Your life is the same. Your thoughts are the sculptor. Your imagination is the blueprint. Your vision is the instruction. Without a clear picture, the universe has no direction to follow. Why most people fail to create a clear vision? 3 reasons. 1. They fear disappointment. They're afraid that imagining something too clearly will make failure hurt more. 2. They don't believe they deserve it. Deep down, they think big dreams are for other people. 3. They get distracted by appearances. They look at their current situation and let it control what they believe is possible. But you're different. You're here learning the laws of creation. So now, let's build your vision the right way. How to form a definite vision. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what I think I can get, but what I truly want. Then create the mental picture. Where are you living? How do you feel waking up every morning? What work do you do? How much do you earn? Who is around you? How do you spend your time? How does abundance feel in your body? See it. Feel it. Experience it in advance. A vision without emotion is weak. A vision with emotion becomes magnetic. Why the mind must ignore appearances. Your current reality is simply the echo of past thinking, nothing more. It has no power over what comes next unless you allow it. If you focus on debt, doubt, lack, fear, worry, frustration, struggle, you recreate them. But if you focus on your vision, even when circumstances look unchanged, you shift the energy immediately. The universe doesn't obey circumstances, it obeys consciousness. So the moment you think from the vision, instead of from your current limitations, you begin to reshape reality.
Section 2. Faith, the invisible substance behind creation. Why faith is not hope. It's energetic certainty. Faith is one of the most misunderstood forces in the world. Faith is not hoping something happens. Faith is knowing it is already happening. Hope waits. Faith claims. Hope says maybe. Faith says already. Faith is the spiritual substance that gives your vision density, weight, and form. When you hold an inner picture with unwavering belief, that picture becomes a living blueprint the universe must build. But when you doubt, you collapse the structure. Think of faith as the gravitational pull of your desire. It draws everything you need toward you: people, ideas, inspiration, timing, opportunities. Without faith, a vision is a wish. With faith, a vision becomes a command. How to develop unshakable faith. There are 4 steps. 1. Speak as if it's done. Your words shape your belief. Say, I am becoming wealthy. I am supported by abundance. I am aligned with my vision. Everything I want is already forming around me. Speak with certainty. 2. Feel the emotional reality of already having it. Emotion is the fuel of manifestation. Feel relief, joy, gratitude, excitement, confidence. These emotions activate creation. 3. Ignore temporary appearances. Just because you can't see the result yet doesn't mean it's not forming. The seed doesn't look like the tree, but it is still becoming one. 4. Rest in the knowing. Faith doesn't strain. Faith doesn't chase. Faith doesn't panic. Faith acts, then relaxes. Effort is physical. Faith is energetic. Creation happens in the invisible first. Your job is to believe, not to force. Section 3. Gratitude, the magnetic key to abundance. Why gratitude opens the floodgates of wealth. Gratitude is not a polite reaction. It's a powerful vibration, one of the highest frequencies a human can emit. Gratitude says to the universe, I already recognize the abundance flowing to me. And the universe responds by giving you more. When you're grateful, your energy expands, your vibration rises, your connection to the infinite strengthens, manifestation accelerates. Gratitude is the emotion that aligns you with the flow of creation. Why gratitude must come before the manifestation. Most people wait until something good happens to be grateful. But metaphysical law works the opposite way. Be grateful first, and the good comes. Gratitude is the emotional proof of your faith. It's the signal that tells the universe, I already believe my good is on its way. And when that vibration stabilizes inside you, manifestation becomes inevitable. How to practice creative gratitude. Try this. Every morning and every night, say, thank you for everything that is coming to me. Thank you for what is already forming. Thank you for blessings seen and unseen. Feel the gratitude in your body, not as words, but as vibration. This creates magnetic expansion around you, and in that expansion, abundance circulates effortlessly. Section 4. Action. How to move like the infinite. Why aligned action is more powerful than hard effort. You now understand vision. You understand faith.
You understand gratitude, but none of it fully materializes without action, the right kind of action, not frantic action, not fear-based action, not forced action, aligned action. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Action is how you receive what the universe sends. Without action, creation has no channel. The difference between forced action and aligned action: forced action comes from fear. It feels heavy, it drains your energy, it creates pressure. It rarely produces lasting results. Aligned action comes from inspiration. It feels natural. It energizes you. It feels guided. It progresses effortlessly. Here's the secret. Aligned action doesn't create abundance. It allows abundance to express itself. You're not forcing results. You're opening pathways. How to know which actions are aligned? Aligned action feels clear, calm, intuitive, exciting, peaceful, intentional. Your mind may not always understand why you feel called to take a certain step, but your intuition knows. When the inspiration rises, follow it. The universe is guiding you through feeling. 3 rules for aligned action. 1. Act on what you can do now. Don't wait for perfect conditions. The path appears when you walk it. 2. Put your full presence into every action. Treat each task as sacred. Presence multiplies the power of your action. 3. Release the outcome after you act. Let the infinite complete what you begin. Your role is initiation. The universe handles manifestation. Section 5. The effortless stream of supply. When you align with the laws, life begins to flow. When you combine a definite vision, unwavering faith, deep gratitude, and aligned action, you enter a new state of being, the effortless stream of supply. This is where wealth begins to move toward you naturally, like water flowing downhill. You're no longer chasing, you're attracting. You're no longer forcing, you're allowing. You're no longer worrying, you're trusting. Your inner vibration becomes your greatest asset. You begin to feel clarity, purpose, connection, guidance, effortlessness, peace, momentum, expansion, and the outer world starts reflecting it. New opportunities, new relationships, new ideas, unexpected income, perfect timing, synchronicities, solutions, inspired direction. You become a magnet for abundance, not because you are lucky, but because you are aligned. Section 6. The highest prosperity, becoming a channel of increase. There is one final truth you must understand. Wealth flows most easily through the one who increases life for others. When you become a source of inspiration, value, kindness, creativity, clarity, healing, support, solutions, beauty, wisdom, the universe expands through you. And what expands through you must also expand to you. You become a channel, and the one who channels abundance can never run out of it. This is the real meaning of prosperity. Not money alone, but expansion, growth, purpose, contribution, fulfillment. This is the life you are meant to live. Section 7. The final shift. As you integrate everything in this journey, understand this. You are not separate from the source of abundance. You are an expression of it. You are not here to beg life for scraps. You are here to co-create with the infinite. You are not meant to struggle endlessly. You are meant to flow. And when you align your vision, your faith, your gratitude, and your action, the universe responds immediately. Not slowly, not someday, immediately. Because consciousness is the true currency of creation, and you are ready to receive. If you enjoyed this and want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss content like this. See you soon!